Ivanka, I've known you since you were a little girl modeling backstage.
Very little, yeah, amazing.
You weren't so little, you were a tall little girl.
You look the same.
She's right.
I was 12, so I don't.
Exactly. You grew. How did you end up being this fashion mogul now?
You know, it's something that's been developing a little bit organically. So I had never really had aspirations to go into this fashion space. I always loved it, very much appreciated it, spent a lot of time thinking about it, obviously, as a teenager, but it was never a business that, you know, I was eager to get into. And then, you know, just through the course of life and meeting people, and that's one of the great things about this amazing city. I met first my partner in the jewelry business, and we recognized that there was a void in the industry at the luxury level for pieces that were really design-oriented and were catered towards a female clientele, a self-purchasing clientele. And I spent a lot of time as a kid traipsing behind my mother, going into, you know, all the typical brand names that we all know. And you walk into their stores and it's so cold and it's like a mausoleum. There's 15 posted guards at the front door.
I've been there.
Yep. And it's like you feel like a cat burglar, you know. There's no sense of educating the customer about stones, and it's not the type of environment that is welcoming or comfortable. And you know, ever since I had great success with the jewelry company, it's enabled me and encouraged me to start thinking about other opportunities in the fashion space. And
which brings me to the bags. I love the bags. Cruelty-free.
It gave me an opportunity to enter spaces where I thought I could create something very stylish, very wearable, accessible from a price point, in a way that people would really enjoy it.
You grew up with a very, very stylish mother with a Vogue cover, I might add.
Of course, yes, and many more.
Exactly, and she's wonderful. I mean, I love your mom. I've spent a lot of time with her.
You know, it's amazing. I learned growing up so much from my mother, and so much in a way that's translated to me on a personal level, but also on a professional one. So her attention to detail is really second to none. She could walk into a room with 1,000 light bulbs and point out the one that's out.
You told some funny stories about how your parents would fly in first class and you guys would be in coach, you and your brothers would be in coach, or your friends would talk about, oh, my private plane. Well, it's your father's private plane.
It's funny. I mean, my parents were very, very conscious of instilling in us a sense of gratitude, but also a lack of entitlement. And I think part of that is saying, okay, well, these are the things that I've worked for, and one day you can aspire to them as well, but in the meantime, you're gonna have to work really hard to get there. And I think that is sometimes lost in translation when people are given so much at an early age. And you know, I have plenty of friends whose parents provided for them extremely well, and they're extremely diligent and hardworking and motivated, but it is harder in the city. You know, it is harder when this bubble is all one knows.
Well, one of our main causes here tonight is to talk about Girl Up, a charity that is involved with the UN, and you're very active in it. Tell us about it.
Girl Up's a phenomenal organization, and I was a founding partner with the UN, and it really tries to help level the playing field. To help adolescent girls around the world who are in challenging, to say the least, situations, give them better quality of life, help them achieve education, help them get access to health care. And it's very socially focused. It's really oriented around peer-to-peer, so galvanizing young American girls to help their adolescent peers around the globe. So when you think about sort of educating and giving them the skill set and enabling them to, you know, wait a little bit longer before having children, to have an education that then can support their family, you know, if they're alone and if they have to do that.
Well, I think Girl Up, a lot of it is that it's using American girls to show girls around the world how they can change their lives and stand up for themselves.
I have a voice that speaks. Ideas to stand on. A world to step up to.
I matter and so does she.
Yeah, and you know, people want to support something, and they want to support something they can relate to. So I think, you know, young girls, and you know, we've recruited everyone, you know, from the cheerleading association to, you know, just young girls in high schools, you know, the high school next door, and they want to do something to help people they can relate to who are across the globe. So it's really exciting, and they bring such energy and passion and enthusiasm that, you know, I really enjoy working with the young American girls, and I'm just amazed by what they're doing.